Hello everyone. In today's video, we'll talk about Krishna's consciousness and material consciousness and how by adapting Krishna's consciousness, we can detach ourselves from all the material desires and live our life without any fear and worries and in an absolute state of bliss and peace and become the best versions of ourselves. A person in Krishna consciousness and a person not in Krishna consciousness are differentiated by different desires. Two persons, one in Krishna consciousness and the other in material consciousness, working on the same level may appear to be working on the same level, but there is a wide gulf of difference in their respective positions. A material consciousness person is convinced by false ego that he is the doer of everything. He does not know that the mechanism of the body is produced by material nature, which works under the supervision of Supreme God. A material consciousness person is one who is engaged in any activity for the purpose of self-gratification. The person in false ego takes all the credit for doing everything independently, and that is the symptom of his lack of knowledge. He does not know that his gross and subtle body is the creation of material nature under the order of Supreme God, and hence his bodily and mental activities should be engaged in the service of Krishna in Krishna consciousness. Persons who are unknowledgeable falsely identify with gross material consciousness and are full of material designations. This body is a gift of material nature, and one is too much attached to his body is called a lazy person, as he is too busy focusing on the body without the understanding of the spiritual soul. Ignorant men think of the body as self. The land in which the body is obtained is their object of worship, and they consider the formalities of religious rituals to be ends in themselves. Social work, nationalism, and altruism are some of the activities for such materially designated persons. For such persons, spirituality is a myth, and they are always busy in the material world. Whereas the person in Krishna's consciousness is convinced of his awkward position in material association. He knows that he is part and parcel of Supreme God, Krishna, and that his position should not be in the material creation. He knows his real identity as a part of God, who is eternal bliss and knowledge, and he realizes that he is trapped in the material conception of life. A Krishna consciousness person is not attached to the material world, and it is everything to satisfy Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. A person in Krishna consciousness engages himself in the activity of Krishna consciousness and becomes naturally unattached to the activities of the material senses, which are all circumstantial and temporary. He knows that his material condition of life is under the supreme control of the Lord, and hence he is not disturbed by all kinds of material reactions, which he considers to be the mercy and blessing of God.
Those who are enlightened in spiritual life and follow Krishna consciousness, they should not agitate such materially engrossed persons.
It's better to keep on working on Krishna consciousness silently. If one keeps living in the material consciousness, he won't be able to understand the real problems of life. He's a miserly man who does not solve the problems of life as a human and quits the world like cats and dogs without understanding the signs of self-realization. They waste their time in being overly affectionate for family, country, society, etc. in the material conception of life. By following Krishna consciousness, we realize that this human form of life is the most valuable asset for the living entity and who uses this opportunity to solve the real problems of life. A person in Krishna consciousness does not take the shelter of any man or demigod. He knows that God is within him, so he does not depend on anyone for his happiness. He is in an eternal state of blissfulness and happiness no matter what the situation is.
He focuses on doing his karma with utmost honesty and passion and lives a perfect life and achieves moksha.
In a nutshell, Krishna consciousness is about accepting who you are and giving up all material needs so that only the love remains, only pure consciousness remains. It is about realizing that what we perceive via the five senses isn't truth, but what we conjure using our five senses is reality. When we erase our fake personality, the personality that includes masks, first, shame, second, envy, third, lust, fourth, disgust, fifth, delusion, fear, anger, and greed, and that's when we ascend on our spiritual path. In short, one must give up an ego and all ego boosting activities and devote every moment to the Supreme Consciousness. There's a lot to Krishna. Don't understand his stories, but understand his consciousness. One should therefore work on Krishna consciousness and take actions from their end to get free from the material consciousness. Trust me, life starts working in your favor and you start looking at things at a very much loving and positive way. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching and please do share and subscribe with your friends and family for such more videos. Thank you.